Hey, I hope everyone is having a fine evening tonight. I'm gonna hop right into it because I don't want to be on here too long. It's the holidays, so I want to make sure, I make this like somewhat condensed. But today I want to talk about, I mainly want to just decode male language, talk about male language and what they say because a lot of the time what they're telling you is actually not what they mean. Okay, it's definitely not what they mean. They talk a lot of ish. Oh, it's not my birthday, not yet. In a couple days, not a couple days, but in several days, it's my birthday. But thank you. Um, but a lot of them don't. They really do not mean what they say. Okay, so I'm gonna just hop right into it because we have enough people on here tonight where I could just go into it. So the first thing, okay, if a man tells you, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, really what he's saying is that, okay, so it's kind of like a psychological thing. It's a psychological thing in their head to try to play you, to like get you to to perform. Because usually what they will do is like before they tell you that they aren't looking for anything serious, a lot of the time they will do relationship things. So they'll text you all the time. They might even go as far as to like take you out on a date. They do a lot of these relationship things just to tell you I'm not looking for anything serious right now. And this is what creates a lot of women falling into the trap of getting into situationships. Because when a lot of women hear a man say this, a lot of women take this on as a challenge. So, really, what he's saying when he says, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, he's saying that he wants the benefits of a relationship, but he does not want the responsibility of being committed to you in a relationship. And that's how you end up in a situationship. Just from that one line of him saying, I'm not looking for anything serious right now. With men, you have to kind of know what to take literally and what not to take literally. When he says, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, just take it literally. If you want to be booed up in a relationship and you know that you don't want to, have like a lack of commitment and things like that, okay, if he tells you he's not looking for nothing serious, quit talking to him. Block his number and keep it moving. Hello, hello, hello. It's not my birthday. It's not. It's in some more days. Actually, it's like dang near. It's over a week. Okay, so the second thing that a lot of men say that we're gonna decode. You're different from other women. I haven't met a woman like you before. You're just so different. They could be telling the truth. They could be telling the truth about you like being so different. They could be. But they also could be saying this because naturally we like novelty. Okay, that's just a thing rooted in human nature. We like novelty, we like new things, and we like being pedestalized, Everyone wants to be the chosen one, right? So when they're telling you that you're different from other women, they are trying to psychologically groom you to put you on a pedestal. So that way you lower your guard. You know what I mean? That way you are going to be more dismissive of what the things that they are doing because they've already pedestalized you. And they're doing this because they want to gain your trust. It's a very, very sneaky way to try to gain your trust because naturally, the way that we've been conditioned, women can be we tend to be very performative for men in order to gain male validation. So they like to say this to flatter you into compliance, pretty much. Queen, you're so real for this. Did you major in psych because you know so much about it? So I actually didn't major in psychology, but I just understood psychology at a very, very young age. So like I did do the psychology club in high school, and I also took psychology in high school, but I didn't go any further than that. But psychology is just something that has just naturally come to me very, very easily, but also something that I like to just study and look into. I'm very, very interested in how the brain works. and our thought processes. Hi. I missed you, girl. I mean, you were just over here from TikTok, but I missed you because I had a couple times where I didn't have no moderator. Queen, do you ever see yourself changing your mind about getting married and having kids? It's so funny because I was actually thinking about that today, while I was walking. I was like, would I even like decide to do it? I right now cannot see myself doing it because, like, I'll be honest, like, I just don't trust men enough. I just don't. Like, I don't trust men enough. And even if he was great and even if he was perfect, I would just have that looming thought in my head that, like, he's gonna switch up. You know, he's gonna change. He's gonna find someone else. And just knowing that there's gonna be an expiration date also, just knowing that there's going to be an expiration date, it would give me too much anxiety. It would. Too much anxiety. Okay, so for the third one, if a man tells you I'm really busy right now, I mean, sure, he could be busy. And let me preface, like, before I keep on rattling these phrases off. Okay, they all could, depending. They could all have a level of validity, but I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't take any of these things at face value if it's something that sounds too good to be true. I'll say that. But pretty much if they say, like, I'm too busy or I'm really busy right now, I have things going on, they just don't want to make you a priority. Okay, they're getting enough of what it is that they want from you in order to keep stringing you along. So, like, literally just on TikTok, because I just got off of there was a girl telling me, what should she do if she's been texting a man for a month and he still has not taken her out on a date? Why are you talking to someone that has not taken you out on a date and y'all are just texting and y'all been texting for a month? That makes no sense. It's because he's getting enough validation from her with text messages. You know what I mean? He's getting enough from that. So he doesn't find it necessary to want to plan a date or do anything extra with this woman because his priorities are in other places. You know what I mean? So it's not that he is busy. He's just busy entertaining other people. And yes, Galore, I really appreciate you coming in and moderating. I mean, that could be, listen, it could be like 30 bajillion reasons. Definitely could be that he's broke. But also, you have to think, men are not doing something if they're not getting something out of it. They're not. Men are not going to just do something just for the hell of it. So he's getting something out of still texting this woman for a month, and it's the validation. And that's enough for him because it could be because he's broke, or he's spending his money on another woman, or he's got a girlfriend or a wife. It could be several things. All you need to know is that the effort is low because he's getting what he wants with his bare or below bare minimum effort in the first place. Okay, the next one. She's just a friend. Okay? You'll know if she's just a friend or not based off of how often he brings her up. If he starts comparing y'all, I am here to tell you that she's more than just a friend. Me personally, I would never trust a man that tells me that he has a female friend. Like, I personally wouldn't. I don't even know why telling someone that would be conducive to anything positive in a relationship. I really don't. Yeah, like it should be completely separate. Girl, same. I feel like you'd be comfortable dealing with men if you're ignorant and less conscious to the truth. Listen, the biggest soldiers right now in the world are the women who are still choosing to deal with men or deal with them on a deep level, on an emotional level. Like when they're committed, like they got a boyfriend, they have a husband. They are our strongest soldiers right now because ignorance is bliss. You know what I mean? It really, really is. And so I just kind of feel like women who, not all, okay, not all, but I do feel like a large majority of women who are having some form of commitment with a man, they are very ignorant. They're very, very ignorant. They really don't understand male nature, and a lot of them have settled and they don't even realize it. They don't realize that they have settled. A lot of those women don't realize that they can give themselves a life that is 10 times better than the life that they have created with a man. Because that's the thing, when you're dealing with a man, your quality of life is only going to be as good as the man that you're with. And men live very low quality lives. This is the reason why they have to resort to a lot of vices. So things like drinking and gambling and porn and things like that. They have a very low quality life naturally. So they're always trying to search for something to fill in the gap for them. You know what I'm saying? For someone to make their life more interesting. That's why they say a woman makes a house a home, because men just live in a house, okay? It's got a sink, a stove, a bed, a TV. You know what I mean? But a woman comes in and a woman she's going to decorate it. She's going to put the family pictures up. She's going to put the rug on the floor. She's going to put the decorative towels on over by the oven. You know what I mean? She's able to amplify a man's life. And so a lot of these women that are still choosing to take men seriously, they do not realize the fact that they are choosing to have a much lower quality of life than they could alone. But that's another thing too. Women keep looking for men to save them, and I would not rely on a man to save me ever. Never. Never, 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 never. If you're relying on a man to save you and to protect you and do all this stuff for you, you're pretty much asking for a death wish. I think there's a lot of cognitive dissonance with Shira's teaching in decentering men, because some women will center their whole appearance and personality on attracting a provider. I agree. I feel like this. It's levels, right? It's levels. If you are getting to the point where you feel like you have to alter your personality, your appearance, just to get a provider, solely to get a provider, in my opinion, I just kind of feel as though you're misguided then. You know what I mean? You're misguided then, because there's no guarantee that he's going to keep providing for you after you have done all of this. You know what I mean? And then you've just sacrificed yourself, you know? You've just sacrificed your whole autonomy in order to get someone to, I guess, financially take care of you. And it's like, you can make money just being yourself. Like, you could literally find ways to make money just being yourself. So that's why I'm real big, and that's why I'm real heavy on the idea of, like, I would never rely on a man to save me. Never. Every time I've tried to do that, it ended terribly. Like, it ended freaking terribly. Okay, so the next line that men use is when they say they don't like drama. Or, you know, they're a chill guy. You know, that's like the thing everyone's saying now, like the thing with all the men. I'm a chill guy. You know, I don't like drama. You know, I want my peace. Those are pretty much all the same. You know, want my peace, don't like drama, I'm a chill guy, I'm a cool guy. That's just code for them. They're trying to avoid accountability. They're trying to avoid accountability. Whenever men say the words drama or peace, a man is saying that he does not want to have any form of confrontation. He does not want to be held accountable for anything. So this is why they're always complaining when they're saying that women are nagging them. Yeah, the reason why they think that it's nagging is because they just don't want to be addressed. They don't want to be seen as the bad guy, and they don't want to have to take accountability. And a lot of them try to use this, they try to use this as a form of like deflecting. And this is honestly not even just specific to men. This is just a thing with human nature. This is also why they say, oh yeah, she was crazy. You know, my ex was crazy, you know, because we all know that drama has a negative connotation to it. So just because you called something out, or maybe because you stated that you didn't like something, they're going to automatically call that drama to deflect from taking accountability and try to flip it off on you as if you're so problematic, when it's like, you're not being problematic when they're causing problems. You're just reacting to the problem that they caused. I started making more money when I started wearing makeup more often and purposely dressing coordinated with effort. Yes. Yes, and this is the thing that makes men so mad about women being beautiful, because at the end of the day, statistics prove this time and time again. People who are well put together, they have a nice, appealing appearance. You know what I mean? They overall are attractive. They earn more money. They even get less jail time. When they're attractive. So your attraction does matter. And the way that people perceive you is important. It's very, very important. And men know this. I think they want the emotional intimacy they didn't get from their fathers or mothers. Oh, for sure. For sure. A man is never going to run to another man for emotional support. Never. Like, who thinks of running to a man for emotional support? Like, when you're crying and going through something, I don't want to talk to a man. I don't want to talk to a man. I want to talk to a woman. Because a woman has more understanding, more empathy. She's not going to yell at you. She's not going to try to sit here and come up with all these solutions. And the thing about it is that a lot of men don't understand the duality of being a woman. Men are very black and white. So men don't think that you can have emotions and be logical. Men think it's either you're emotional or you're logical, when you can very well have both. And that's what they don't understand, because they're not all that smart. What does it mean they call you a Jezebel succubus? It definitely means that you're giving off that energy, like that goddess energy. You're probably very autonomous, so you probably don't give a fuck about like following rules or anything like that. The biggest drama queens going, projecting onto women. Exactly. They'll always hit on you when you're crying your eyes out. Yep. Okay, so when he says, let's just go with the flow, I feel like this one is so obvious, but it's just a form of him avoiding from defining the relationship. Because once again, men want all of the perks. They want all of the perks of being attached to a woman, but they don't want to maintain any of the responsibility. So they'll get married to you and then they'll still go cheat. You know, they'll get you pregnant and then leave you with the baby. So that, but they could still tell everyone, oh, I'm married and I have children. You know what I mean? Because technically they are married and they have children, but they are not upholding what those things require. Like, you're not taking care of your child. You don't even know your child's allergies. You don't know their teacher's names. You don't know their doctor's names. You don't even know anything about your own children. She's the one doing everything. So when they are very vague, when men are very vague, when they say things like, let's just go with the flow, they don't want to define the relationship, because they understand and know that they're not going to fulfill what they need to fulfill to be in a relationship. Oh my God, true. I got discharged from the hospital after blacking out. My ex picks me up and just asked to... Exactly. No empathy. Like, a woman would never think to freaking do that. Like, that will literally be like someone pushing you off a cliff, and you're able to grab the cliff, so now you're hanging for dear life, and then someone comes up and asks you, can you give me $100? And you're over here holding on to a fucking cliff, about to fall to your death, and not offering help. They're asking for $100 when you're on your way to lose your life. Like, that's what that is synonymous to. What's your best advice to women in a relationship? Pay attention and leave the moment that they act up. Quit thinking that you have to suffer. Quit thinking that you have to tough it out. Quit thinking that you can change him. And understand, just have an abundance mindset when it comes to men. Now, I'm not saying have an abundance mindset when it comes to good men. Okay, I want to make that very, very clear. Because it's not an abundance of good men. It's not an abundance of good men out here at all. However, in most cases, the man that you're with is an average man. Most men are average. So he's very, very much replaceable. Very, very much replaceable. And if you want to, you could have 3 different boyfriends and have them have enough qualities where you get the perfect man. Like, that's the thing, too. Women have been conditioned to be monogamous. Men aren't monogamous. They always cheat. You know, women have conditioned themselves to be monogamous, or we've been conditioned to be monogamous because at the end of the day, a woman can extract a lot more out of, a woman will always be able to extract more out of multiple men than a woman can extract out of one man. Men understand, and so, because that's the thing, that's what men do. Men are going to extract from as many women as possible. So just understand they can be replaced. Like, who cares? Okay, the next one is you're too good for me. Like, you're too good for me, or like, I don't deserve you. And, okay, so pretty much, this is a way to groom you. This is a way for you to get groomed into you accepting the bare minimum from them. Okay? To pretty much lower your expectations. Because they like to say this after they've already hooked you in emotionally. You know what I mean? So a lot of times the man will usually say this after y'all are in a relationship. Because by that point, you're already emotionally hooked. So it will be harder for you to leave when they straight up tell you that you're too good for me. I don't know about you. I don't want to be with someone and I'm better than them. I don't want to be with a man and I'm better than him. Like, no. No. You're the man. You're supposed to be better than me. Like, that would never turn me on. You know what I mean? And that's why it goes back to, there are some of these things you have to take very literal. And that's something that you need to take literal. You're too good for me. Why would you want to be with someone and you're better than him? Like, no. The main reason men get away with the things they do is because somewhere on the sidelines there's a woman justifying his behavior by saying it's in their nature. Oh yeah, facts. 100%. Facts. And that's why I said men are always going to have a supply. But here's the thing. Women are always going to have a supply. It's just women don't ever use their supply. Women don't use their supply at all. Men have no problem using women as supply. But women are not as narcissistic as men either. Like, I think if all men in the country, here in the US of A, I believe that if all men went to therapy and got evaluated, I would say probably 80% of them have narcissistic personality disorder. And it's really no... Okay, so when I say supply, I mean you could at least extract like 1 or 2 things that you want from a man. So like, let's just say there's like one man that you get and like he'll give you money, okay? So that's one form of supply. Then you have a man who he's like great in bed. Okay, well then you have that supply because you don't have to sleep with all of these men. Like, you really don't. You know, and then you can have another guy that, I don't know, like you guys have deep conversation or something. That's a form, that's a supply. That's what men do. Their wife, after she had children and she's too busy and she's too tired, she doesn't feel like sleeping with him. What is he gonna do? Oh, he's gonna go find an S worker. You know, he's gonna go find a lady of the night or something like that. You know what I mean? Because he now has another version of supply. And this is why men are always gonna cheat on someone that's the opposite of you. Because it's a different form. It's a different type of supply from these particular women. They're always going to find a woman who looks nothing like you, or you cannot do what she does. You know what I mean? You're raising kids. You're not about to be hanging off of chandeliers in the bedroom. Okay, so this one is a red flag, okay? If a man ever tells you this, you should stop talking to him immediately, okay? If you proceed after a man says this to you, you are in for a bad time. I guarantee you. And that thing is, that they say is, my ex was crazy, okay? My ex was crazy. As soon as they say my ex is crazy, don't ever talk to them again. It's a large red flag. it goes back to what I said about the other, I wrote these down. The let's go with the flow and I don't like drama. Listen, a man, these are all subtle ways for a man to tell you that he refuses to take accountability, because people typically, because this is the thing, this is what you have to realize, okay? We have been civilized, like as a nation. We have been very much trained to be civilized. So people are not flying off the handle like they really could fly off the handle, because we have laws, we have the police, we have a level of civilization. So no one is really going to go crazy for no reason. Always know that. Nobody's going to go crazy for no reason. In order for there to be a reaction, there has to be an action behind a reaction. So her being crazy was literally her showing some level of anger, showing some level of emotion based off of what he did. So he'll cheat and she'll find out and she'll get pissed off and cussing the fuck out, and then he'll go back and tell you, oh, my ex was crazy. No, she's not crazy. She is having you take accountability. This is why they're always telling women don't take accountability. If you ever get on social media and you want to make a man feel stupid if he ever comments women don't take accountability, all you have to do is respond and say, take accountability for what? They're usually not going to respond to you. I did it twice today to prove myself right. Neither one of those men responded to me today, because they cannot. There's nothing that they're going to be able to tell you to take accountability for. Men don't like finishing sentences. Men don't like finishing sentences at all. Women need to take accountability for what? What do we need to take accountability for? There is nothing that women are actively choosing. There is nothing really that women are actively choosing to do that they don't pay the price for. Like if a woman has a child, even if she doesn't like the baby daddy, even if they don't get along, even if the man leaves, if the woman is still raising the child, that is the woman taking accountability. Point blank, period. Accountability for a man, accountability just means you didn't give me what I want. You didn't let me get what I want out of you. You did not let me have my way with you. That's what they want you to take accountability for. That's why they won't tell you what it is that they want women to take accountability for. They want women to take accountability for them being ugly, for them being average, for them underperforming, for them not being smart, for them being even more emotional than women. They're the ones going up in schools, doing all that stuff in schools. They're the ones lighting women on fire. Meanwhile, my daddy fucking loves my content. My daddy and my mama love my content. Even my own grandpa likes my content. Like literally my grandfather agrees with all of my talking points. He's like, no, stay the way you are. Like keep the same mindset that you have. Like not everyone's father was dumb like your father. You know what I mean? Not everyone's father was dumb like you. Men are the ones who do not take accountability. Well, let's look at every Father's Day every year. I barely see anyone wishing their fathers happy birthday. Oh, and you know how mad they get when they've been posting these past couple years, and they're like, and you women better be quiet on Father's Day. It's our day. It's our day on Father's Day. And it's like, okay, so you want to have acknowledgement for Father's Day when all you do is fucking give your baby mama $150 a month for child support and you have not seen your child in 6 months? Like, we're supposed to be giving you a standing ovation and cards and money and all of these things. So yes, the woman is allowed to give herself credit for being the mother and the father, because the father isn't there. She is the mother and the father. If she has a son, who's gonna teach a son how to use the bathroom? A man should be doing that because they have the same equipment, but if the father isn't there, she's gonna have to do it. Women have to be the one. If there's no father around, they have to go on ahead and protect their daughters from men and teaching them about male nature and choosing not to date to protect their own daughters. My dad always dominates the family meetings with lectures. Men are so desperate to be seen as intelligent, and they make no sense. They try so hard to be intelligent and make no sense. It's always the men that don't want anything from you that will agree, only the users don't. Exactly. It just sounds like a complicated word to them to help them feel intellectual. Yes. They're all NPCs. They just repeat the same thing over and over and over. It's so annoying. Like, they literally have to rub two brain cells together to repeat what another man said. Like, they can't even rub two brain cells together to come up with an original thought. Okay, next, if he says, you deserve better than me. If a man is telling you that you deserve better than him, pretty much it's a lot of this is going to be based off of lack of accountability, lack of commitment, and preparing you to accept bare minimum behavior. This is pretty much him trying to groom you to accept bare minimum behavior, because these men, like, when they say shit like you deserve better than me, they always are going to say this stuff when you're in a relationship with them. They always pull this shit when you're in a relationship with them, because they know that by this time you are emotionally hooked. So you're not, they understand that you won't be as quick to question them when they say stuff like this. So you gotta run. You know what I mean? You got to run. Yeah, they never say it when you're dating, because if they say it early on, it'll be easier for you to believe them because they don't have you emotionally hooked. You haven't spent all this time with them. You haven't slept with them. You know what I mean? You haven't shared your vulnerabilities and your secrets and things like that. You have not emotionally invested into them. So they're never going to tell you this stuff early on in the game when you are, you don't have the rose-colored glasses on and you're trying to vet them. You know what I mean? This is why vetting, it's very flawed. There is no foolproof vetting system, because men are very good unpaid actors. Okay, the next one. I've never felt this way about anyone before. Okay, first off, I've never felt this way about anyone before. And you should ask him, so how do I make you feel? How do I make you feel? If you've never felt this way about anyone before, tell me, how do I make you feel? And you'll know right away if he's full of shit, and I can guarantee you he's not gonna know. He ain't gonna know what to say. He ain't gonna know. I mean, I like the way you cook. I like the way you cook for me. Like, that's not even a fucking feeling. But that's the answer that they're gonna give you. And what they're trying to do is they are trying I just like your vibe, your aura. Yeah, are the main ones that don't believe in zodiac signs. Exactly. But this is a way for a man to have emotional, or try to have emotional intimacy with you. Because they're saying he's never felt this way. You know what I mean? Feelings. And we know that men are not very big on feelings. So, they want to activate that emotional vulnerability from you in order to, keep entertaining them. Yep, they can't answer. The stuttering will begin. Like, They gotta rub their two brain cells together to come up with an answer. They all say that. I like your vibe. I like your aura. Like, that's the thing. What men don't realize is that men are such one trick ponies that it's like, that's why they're fucking annoying. Like, that's why a lot of men are fucking annoying, because you understand that a different man is going to come up to you and he's going to say the exact same shit that the last 20, 30 men done said to you. You know what I mean? They are going to say the same thing over and over and over, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. And yes, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I gotta remember to say that. I'm sorry, y'all. The lip gloss, I promised myself I was gonna start so what I'm gonna start doing at the beginning of my lives, I'm just going to tell you guys what I'm wearing on my lips, because every single live I get asked what I'm wearing on my lips. This is Pat McGrath. I don't even know if y'all can see it. Probably not. But this is by Pat McGrath. It's her lip gloss, and it is in the color Divine Rose. Beautiful color. But yes, men are one-trick ponies, and so they all say the same thing. They all say the same thing. Okay, the next thing that we're going to decode. I'm not like the other guys. So the man in the comments that said, oh, well, a man can answer what a genuine man is going to be able to answer your question. You know, that was him trying to say, I'm not like the other guys. Men like that, I call those male pick-me's. That's what they are, male pick-me's. These are the same people who say, not all men. A man saying not all men is the same as him saying, I'm not like the other guys. He's trying to distance himself from the negative stereotypes, the negative judgment that men get in order to try to get you vulnerable, to try to lower your defenses. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. When a man is trying to make himself sound low, so if he says things like, I don't deserve you, you're better than me. When a man is trying to lower himself down on the totem pole, believe him. When a man is trying to pump himself up on the totem pole, never believe him. You hear me? I'm going to say it one more time. When a man is trying to bring himself down a couple notches, okay, believe him. If he's trying to get himself up higher a couple notches, don't believe him. Okay. Why are you so dressed up? You know, who are you trying to impress? You know, why are you wearing that makeup? Where are you going? Who are you looking good for? You know, pretty much anything along those lines when it's coming to your beauty, and he's trying to call you out on the effort that you're making when it comes to your beauty. You know, you're fixing up your makeup and stuff like that. Red flag, insecure and possessive. That's all you need to know. Insecure and possessive because he's fearful that your looks and your beauty is going to attract other men. Of course it's going to attract other men. You know, if there's any men that are watching this, if you want to be with someone that isn't going to get any attention, you need to get a man. Because men don't get any attention. Men definitely will fight over men, so let me not say that. But you are never really going to have to worry about the severity of someone snatching your man as opposed to how easy it'll be for someone to snatch your woman. You know what I'm saying? Okay, another one. I didn't mean it like that. Or, I didn't say that. You know, what are you talking about? I didn't say that. It's the backpedaling. It's a form of gaslighting, okay? Trying to alter your reality on, you know, what they actually said or what they actually were trying to get across. And it's them not trying to take responsibility. Like, I remember one time, one of my exes, he called me a bitch, and I called him out on it. And I was like, you call me a bitch. Like, don't ever do that again. What is your problem? And he was like, I didn't call you a bitch. I called you bitchy. And I'm like, but no, you didn't. Like, you know what you called me. Like, you know what you said, and I know what you said. And so I'm going to sit here and make you feel uncomfortable just like how you made me feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I'm going to return that same energy back to you because you know what the fuck you said. And you wanted me to hear what you said. They don't want to take, it's very cowardice. Very cowardice. They want to say what, they want to say it, but they want to say it under their breath. You know what I mean? They want to say it and hope that you don't hear. They want to say it and then backpedal. Like, no, be a man and say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Say it. I want you to say it and I want you to mean it. Just like how you're saying it. Can you decode this? He said, I paid $300 for your pet sitter for your personal trip that you went without me. Like, what? I'm not supposed to travel and enjoy myself also without you? Baby, he's a baby. It's so funny because I logged back into live, or not live, what am I talking about? I logged back into threads today. Instagram threads. And there was a post of a woman and she was saying, she took a picture of herself and she was like, I'm traveling solo. You know, I'm enjoying myself traveling solo. And then a man commented, this is why you're single. And then she commented, but I'm married. And then the men were like pissed off because they're like, how dare you? Like, I can't believe you traveled without your husband. Like, oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous. Men cannot do anything alone. They cannot do anything fucking alone. So he's trying to guilt trip you and make you feel bad. He's trying to guilt trip you and make you feel bad for going on the trip. And he pretty much is like whining and complaining and playing the victim because he paid $300 for a pet sitter. Who cares? Who cares? Just like you went on your own solo trip, he very well can go on his own solo trip and do his own thing. He said, without me, like I was supposed to invite you, huh? Exactly. He's mad he didn't get to ruin your trip. Exactly. Because in most cases, that's all he would have done. They meant what they said. Trick is they want you to believe otherwise. Gaslighting at its finest. Yep. Yep, I agree. I made a video about this on TikTok, but when men say I was just joking, oh, I was just joking. And he'll sit here, like the man will literally say the most vulgar or disrespectful or like a harmful thing, and then be like, oh, I was just joking. I was just joking. It goes back to what I said earlier. Men are cowards. Men are cowards. They have to anything very mean, they're always going to disguise it as a joke or say that you misheard him, you know, or say he didn't mean it that way. It's like shitting. It's like they're taking a shit and they're trying to cover it up with glitter, but it still smells like shit. Ooh, the men are mad. The men are mad. That's cool though. Yeah, men are never just joking. Never. They're never just joking. Yeah, they're just trying to test you. That's really what it is. They're just trying to test you to see how far they can go with like being disrespectful, being rude, things like that. Yes, like the men's is getting mad today, child. I must be telling the truth then. I must be exposing them today, huh? Because I don't know about you, but if people are not telling the truth, I'm not. Because here's the thing, they're not even defending themselves. Like, they're not even arguing with my talking point. They're just telling me to shut up. Be a real man. Be a real man and come with a talking point. You know what I mean? Be a real man and have a debate. The insults are giving very toddler. The insults are giving very 5-year-old. The insults are giving very small penis, like very small pee energy. Grow up. I once went on a date and this guy had asked me, "How do you know if I like you?" And I said, "Who wouldn't?" And I looked him straight in the eye when I said it. Yup. Yup. That's how you have to be with them. Conceited. Conceited, because what men want most is a woman that has a low self-esteem. Like, men hate confident women. Men hate confident women. Like, you're pretty. Okay, yeah, I know. You know? And it's sad. It's sad that we've gotten to this state with men that, like, we have to get this way with men. Because you can't even take their this is why I'm doing this video. This is why I'm doing this video to decode this, because a lot of these men, you can't even take a fucking compliment from them anymore, because the compliment will have shade behind it. You know what I mean? The compliment will have so much fucking shade behind it, you can't even accept a compliment. And even if they do give you a compliment, they'll like run it back later. They always act, "Oh, we gotta pick me in the comments, get her out." They always act like we dress like he nines on accident. I can't believe the pick-me's are over here, y'all. The pick-me's are over here, y'all. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it, y'all. The pick-me's is finding my stuff. The girls with the low self-esteem going 50-50, going 100-0, just say they got a man. Like, girl, go pay for your man. Go pay to be with your man and get off of here. I dumped him after he said he wasn't at the point in our relationship to buy me a new MacBook Pro laptop. Meanwhile, tried to manipulate me into continuing to date him. No freebie, sir. I look at it like this. If I can get it for myself, my expectation is always going to be whatever I give myself, the other person has to match me. So it's like, if I could snap my fingers and I could go get myself a MacBook Pro. So I would want to be with someone where I could snap my fingers, and if I want a MacBook Pro, I could have a MacBook Pro. Point blank, period. Like, you're in a relationship. It's like anything else, you know, it's about financial planning. Every man should understand that being in a relationship is costly. It's going to be costly. Do not approach a woman knowing that you don't have the relationship funds. Do not approach a certain type of woman if you know that you cannot afford the relationship funds that she will come along with. You know what I mean? You cannot go get a Maserati. You cannot go and get a Maserati and your budget is $20,000. Like, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I dumped a guy for the same thing. But this is it of course it's transactional. Aren't you sleeping with the woman? Aren't you expecting her to cook and clean and give you a child? Duh, of course it's transactional. What world are y'all living in? What world are y'all living in? All relationships are transactional. Like, what? Oh, Lord, for better or worse. That's terrible. I can't believe that. Y'all, somebody said for better, for worse. And then, can y'all believe, for richer or poorer? Do you know how brainwashed you have to be? Do you know how brainwashed you have to be to take vows that say that? And then, this is what's so funny. Women will say these vows, and it's so funny because it's like sickness and in health. But men leave women. They're 7 times more likely than women to leave when their wife is diagnosed with a terminal illness. But you're taking vows that say in sickness and in health. And as soon as you get sick, he leaving your ass. Oh, okay, we got one of them. We got one of the spiritual men in here. He's saying that he's saying that he don't believe in transactions. Everything in life is a transaction. Even in the spiritual realm, everything is a transaction. Energy cannot be created it cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be exchanged and transformed. That would mean that it's a transaction. Everything in life is a transaction. Everything. Queen, why are my parents so adamant about men being dangerous and how I shouldn't even go on dates with them? They fear monger the fuck out of me. I mean, honestly, okay, here's the thing. It's okay to inform people. Like, it's perfectly fine to inform people about, like, things that happen and things that men do and things like that. But also, there's a level of trust that has to be had as well. Your parents should trust their parenting enough that they understand that you're equipped with the information that you need to not put yourself in a unsafe predicament with a man. That's what it all comes down to. If they trust their parenting enough and if they trust you enough, they would never have to be so adamant on constantly having to enforce that upon you. Men always leave women when they are sick, unless the wife is looking for them financially or they can benefit something from her. Exactly. And then they're the first ones to go look for a woman when they get sick. So they're gonna leave you when you're sick, and then they're gonna run to you when they're sick. This guy asked me to carry his child and co-parent after one date. Not even that he wanted to be with me, just asked me to be a surrogate. And this is why I'm always going to rest on the fact that men baby trap women much more often than women baby trap men. I'm sorry, the average annual salary is for a man is about $62,000 to $65,000. What do you mean trapping? So you mean to tell me that a woman endured 9 months of carrying a baby where she had morning sickness, her teeth might have fallen out, she got high blood pressure, she can't fit any of her clothes, she has a low self-esteem, she has postpartum depression, she's lost friends because all of her other friends have probably chosen to not have children, or maybe everyone's busy with their life. So you mean to tell me that she made that decision to extract $150 from you a month? She wanted to go through all of that to trap you for $150 a fucking month? No, they're the ones baby trapping you because when you're beautiful, when you have all these titles, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a surgical tech, you're beautiful, you come from a good family, you have all these things. They want to be able to go around and brag to all their friends, all their homeboys, all their family, and be like, oh yeah, let me show you my baby mama. Status. That's what it's all about. They want to be able to be linked to you, to brag about you, and then they know that you're smart, you're achieving, you come from a good family, so then they want to be able to give credit, they want to be able to take credit for when the child is an adult. So this is why they're going to leave, and then once the child turns 18, they want to come back into the child's life. Yeah, they want to come back into the child's life because they are like, oh, well, I have a come up now. Men are gold diggers. At the end of the day, it takes one to know one. Always remember that. Whatever men are calling you, you cannot construct an opinion about something. You cannot construct a thought about something unless you lived it. Everything that they're saying is a projection because it takes one to know one. How do they know what a gold digger is if they aren't fucking gold digging? Can you talk about how married women hold a stigma against women who aren't married with kids? This happens a lot in families with younger generation because a lot of those women were groomed. A lot of those women were groomed and they were lied to. And they believe, they want the social credit of being married. They do. They want the social credit of being married from other women. And I guess from other men too, I guess. And so they're miserable in their marriages. Okay, let's just call it what it is. They're miserable in their marriages. So they want to get on you, and they want to rain down on you for choosing not to be married, or trying to make it seem as if there's something wrong with you because you aren't married, when in reality they're unhappily married. Okay, and they want, instead of looking out for you, they want to have you make a fucked up decision like how they did. Because let me tell you, the women who were married in my family said that they would never do it again, and they have not done it again, and they do not recommend it. And also, for the women in my family who are married, tell me straight up, don't do this shit. I am literally only doing this shit because I have children. That's it. That's the only reason why they're sticking around. So never trust someone, even if they're family, trying to get on you and trying to talk shit about you because you're not married. Like, no. Like, and I would be like, okay, Linda, because I really want to have the life that you have when, your husband had a side baby. Like, oh yes, I really want that life for myself. Okay, let's decode more phrases, please. Yes. You're being too emotional. That is 100% dismissive behavior. That's a red flag. I would not proceed forward with that. Anytime a man is trying to attack anything emotional with you, you need to not talk to them anymore. At the end of the day, any man who gets mad at a woman for being emotional does not like women. He don't like women. He's down low. He likes men. He wants a man. You cannot choose to deal with women and not expect women to be emotional. They want you to put up and shut up. They want you to sit here and put up with all their bullshit and not say anything about it. Don't say a peep. Don't do anything. And then they wonder why women end up on that show called Snapped. Well, you done told this woman to hide her emotions. You done told this woman to stop being emotional. So she done bottled everything up. She hasn't been emotional. And then she ends up on a goddamn episode of Snapped. The same way that men get emotional. Bottling up their feelings. And then lashing out. Punching walls. Kicking things. Punching people. Same thing. They want to invalidate your feelings, because men don't like emotions, because men don't want to be accountable for anything. So to prevent that, they're going to invalidate your feelings. And the reason why this is so dangerous, if you allow men to do this, is because it starts off very, very subtle. But when you cannot openly express your emotions with someone, you are going to be a shell of yourself. I feel like this is the number one reason how women end up very depressed in relations with men, because they're not allowed to show any type of emotion. Because what men really want to do on a psychological level, and I would even tell my ex this, they want to turn you into a man. So because they don't know how to handle their emotions, because they don't want to face their emotions, they don't want you to face they don't want to hold the space for you to hold your emotions. So they will just invalidate yours. That way they don't have to be held accountable, and that way they don't have to have a mirror held up to their behavior. Okay, the next thing. I've been hurt before. I have trust issues. It's very hard for me to, want to open up. All he's doing is just explaining that he is emotionally unavailable. Okay? He's emotionally unavailable. He's also saying that he don't want to be vulnerable. He's not willing to be vulnerable, and he's not willing to be emotionally available, because he's already victimizing himself. He's already victimizing himself as this person that's just going to be, he's just so broken and he's so torn, and like pretty much trying to make you feel bad for him. Anytime a man is trying to use some type of language or lingo or term to try to make you feel bad for him, he's never going to be emotionally vulnerable. You're overthinking this. That's a common one. You're overthinking this. You're thinking too much. You're making things more difficult than it has to be. Okay? This is extremely dismissive to say. It's very, very dismissive to say because it's a way to invalidate your feelings and it's a way to invalidate the experience and the reality that you are facing. Okay? Because pretty much what he's saying is that your concerns are not valid. And they typically like to do this with things that equate to your survival. So for instance, like, all right, let's just say this man's paying the car note. No, the house note. Let's say this man's paying the house note, right? He's paying the house note and you check the mail. You know what I mean? You check the mail and like, let's just say you get a letter or something from the IRS, you know? And you look at you open up the letter and like, they're talking about like, oh, y'all are behind by like 3 years on paying taxes on the house. And so he comes home and you're like, what are we going to do? Like the house, like how will we be able to buy another house? Like what if our home goes into foreclosure? Like you're over here trying to figure out what the fuck happened and how to alleviate this situation. And then he's going to tell you, you're overthinking this. Because he's trying to dismiss your valid concerns. And then guess what? This is how women will lose a house. They'll lose the house that they have with their husband, or they won't be able to buy a house with their husband. You know what I mean? Their level of survival is now in jeopardy because pretty much he's like, oh, I got it, it's no big deal. And then once you want to pay attention to what's going on and you start peeping what's going on, you're overthinking it. You're overreacting. You're doing too much. Or if you notice something, oh, you were texting at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're thinking too much. You're overreacting. And it's like, well, yeah, he's upset because he knows that you picked up on the fact that he's texting at 3 a.m. because he's texting another woman. I used to be very depressed because I believed in fairy tale. Now that I know it doesn't exist, so many women will never figure it out. Yeah. The life I give myself is better than any man, what any man could give me. Yep, they want us to feel guilty and sympathize with their victimhood. Every holiday party, my married cousins are always asking me and my sister if we have boyfriends yet. I can't, it's just the hive like mentality, like the hive mind mentality, and like when people say that, it just gives off the fact that they're very codependent because they believe that you cannot be a whole person alone. They believe that you have to be with someone to like complete you. Why do husbands have mistresses if they love their wife? Because men need validation. Men are very insecure. Men are very validation starved. They don't get a whole lot of validation. So they can love their wife, but this is the thing. When it comes to a man loving you, commitment is not in their form of love. When they say they love you, commitment is not in there. Commit and love are not, you can't use them in the same sentence when it comes to men. I don't believe women are meant to be stoic, unbothered, but yes, not stoic. As women, your feelings and how you feel is very telling. If you feel tense around him, he's unsafe. I agree. I do agree with you. I do agree with you. If we lived in a world with just women, I don't really necessarily think it would have to be as much of a requirement for a woman to remain stoic. I don't really see myself in dynamics with other women where I feel like I have to be stoic. Only with men. Because men need your energy. They need proof. They need proof that you're into them. They need proof that you're invested in them because it boosts up their self-esteem. Oh, this one. I hate this when women say this. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I hate women say this. This definitely pisses me off when they say this. Because pretty much when they say I'm not perfect, it's just an excuse for bad behavior. So they always like to say this when they do something like cheat on you. You know, well, I'm not perfect. I'm human. You know what I mean? I never said I was perfect. And it's like, no one was expecting you to be perfect. you just had an expectation of making a better decision. Like you can't get over on me. Ain't nobody asked you to fucking be perfect. All somebody did was ask you to not fuck other women. Very simple. Perfection has nothing to do with it. And pretty much him, it is pretty much him lowering the bar on you by telling you that this is what you can expect. You know what I mean? This is what you can expect from me. I cheated and I'm not perfect. So yeah, don't expect too much from me. This is the best I could do because I'm not perfect. I'm getting triggered by these quotes. Sorry, girl. They don't get that we just want human decency. Exactly. This is why you always have these men online and in the comments that are like, a woman doesn't understand a good man when she sees one. And this is why, like, their revenge fantasies are so funny. She didn't know a good man when she had one, you know, or when they say like, oh, I'm a nice guy. And it's like, they want you to bust it wide open just for them treating you like a human and giving you human decency. Like, they want you to bust it wide open for them treating you how they're supposed to treat a person. Like, what? I'm supposed to be, and this is why the bar is so low. Because men understand and men know that inherently they're not good people. They're not nice people. They're not people that other people want to be around. This whole male loneliness epidemic, the male loneliness epidemic is because them motherfuckers are horrible to be around. Like, they're fucking horrible to be around. They're not funny. They're mean. They're weird looking. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing interesting about a man. They're very annoying and it's just, ugh. Like, learn to be enjoyable to be around, and maybe there won't be no male loneliness epidemic. You know what I'm saying? They're so boring. Like, I remember when I went out to eat with a few of my girlfriends, right? And it was really interesting. I was paying attention to this. So it was weird because there was one side of booths and then one side of like tables with chairs. And I don't know, I don't know how this even happened. But ironically, all the men were sitting on the same side and all the women were sitting on the same side. I noticed that the women were talking about 90% of the time. They were talking about 90% of the time. And the men are just like, because men have no personality. Men don't even have enough brain power to carry on a conversation. Men are extremely boring. Boring, mean, disgusting, unfunny, not interesting. They have zero personalities. They get their personality from all the women they have been with. Yep. There is no community among men. Yep. The loneliness is based on men's actions. Even the men themselves cannot support themselves emotionally. Exactly. Like, how are you in a whole epidemic? Like, you can't even be friends with other men. Like, that's how terrible they are. That's why they have to siphon women's energy. Exactly. Because I sure was at that dinner and I'm like, oh my God, these girls are talking and talking and talking. Men preserve their energy for schmecks. Just allude to it and watch them actually know how to hold a convo all of a sudden. Yep. Very, very true. Very, very true. That's why they only can last 2 seconds in the bedroom. If they was actually chatty Cathy, they had to use all that energy previously before they slept with you, and they can only last 2 minutes now. Yep. How are you in a whole epidemic? Chow, I know. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. They are lonely because they can't keep a long-term relationship. Divorce. Yep. All right, the next thing we're going to decode. Why do you always assume the worst about me? Why do you always think poorly of me? You know, why do you always expect me to mess up? You know, why do you and they like to say this. They like to say this after they have had a history of poor behavior. You know what I mean? Now, granted, you should never stay with no man that is giving you repeated negative behaviors anyway. Like, you shouldn't. But they like to say this. They like to say this after they are repeat offenders of being very disrespectful. And this is another form of gaslighting. It's a very subtle form of gaslighting to make you question your feelings, you know, in your concerns. You know what I mean? And it goes back to the other example that I gave. You know, he's all of a sudden trying to go to the gym. You know, he's on his phone smiling more, you know. And so, of course, naturally, you're going to allude to something that he might be doing because that's very suspicious behavior. Why do you assume the worst about me? Why do you always have to think that I'm doing something? And they're trying to manipulate you to make you question yourself, because men are always trying to make whenever you are trying to call a man out on his behavior, usually his first resort is to try to make you out to be the bad guy. So when you actually want to make a decision to hold him accountable and call out shit, now all of a sudden you're the bad guy. And this is also what a lot of men will do when it comes to divorces, especially when children were involved. A lot of men use this manipulation tactic where they will go back and tell the children how mean mommy is and how unfair mommy is, and I can't believe mommy broke up our family, and if she really loved you, she would have never done that. They're trying to make you out to be the bad guy because you made a decision that no longer benefits them. All my aunts and grandma always told me to never have kids or get married. Yeah. This is why men don't want you to listen to older women. This is why. Because the older women have lived it, and the older women don't want you to go through what they went through. Because a lot of them did not have a choice. A lot of them didn't have a choice but to go through that because they were forced out of survival. Couldn't have no bank account, couldn't get no house. My ex loved playing dumb. He would always say, I don't know. It was his excuse for every mistake. Yep, they love to play dumb. Patriarchy and everything, and still miserable. Yeah, that tells you a lot. These men literally artificially created a world in their favor. And they still can't survive. They don't even like staying alive in the world they created. Men self-delete at a much higher rate than women. They don't even want to live in the world that they created. That should tell you everything you need to know about a man. How do you oppress groups of people, enslave groups of people, you know, give yourself higher money, give yourself a higher pay, give yourself job promotions. You don't got to go through childbirth. You ain't got to have no periods. You ain't got to worry about someone essaying you. You ain't got to really worry about being the victim of DV. How do you have all of these things allocated to you, and all of these privileges allocated to you, and you still want to off yourself? That should tell you a lot about men. Yeah, exactly. Most men do not benefit from patriarchy. And the thing about it is that the issue is that a lot of men want women to pay the price from men not benefiting from the patriarchy. No, go to the men that created this, Because men want us to be victims and saviors at the same time, and we're tired of it. We are tired of it. Like, men want to get mad at women for child support. A man created the law of child support, not a woman. A woman did not create child support. A man created it because the man that created it understood that when a woman has risked her life, a woman has sacrificed her life. She has sacrificed her mental and emotional state. She has sacrificed her security with herself. A lot of women are insecure after giving birth, and then she's also compromising her sanity, her money, her free time, her leisure time. because she has to care for her child, and then she has to care for this man child. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the man that created that law understood. The man that created that law understood. Okay, she's actually giving a lot. She's cooking, she's cleaning, she's sleeping, she's being the caretaker of the child. She's doing all of these things. Men only look at money. Men only look at money, and men never really want to acknowledge all of the non-tangible things that they're getting from a woman. Well, if you care so much about money, why would you not be with a man? If the only thing you care about is money, why would you not go be with a man? Because when women say that we have more to offer than just money, you know what I mean, and there's other things that we can bring to the table, all of a sudden, well, you're supposed to work a job. You're supposed to do those things. You're supposed to be independent. Okay, well, if that's all you care about, it shouldn't matter about any of the domestic stuff that I'm doing. You're cooking, clean. Well, I can get a chef for that. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Cooking, clean. I can go get a chef for that. Okay, just go be with a man then. If you don't want to acknowledge someone caring for your child, if you don't want to acknowledge yourself sleeping with someone, if you don't want to acknowledge the nurturing, the caring, the empathy, the understanding, the positivity, you know, the what's the word that I'm looking for? The drive that a woman gets you. If you don't want to acknowledge those things that a woman can provide, then why aren't you with a man? Why aren't you with a man? Because men dismiss these things every single time. They dismiss all of these qualities that women have, and then try to make it seem as if, well, because you aren't contributing financially, none of those things matter. Then go be with a man, because he will be able to financially contribute, and he won't be able to give you all those things. He won't even be able to give you a child. So they're lying when they're dismissing all of this stuff. They're lying, clearly, because you would just go get a man. You just go be with a man. He can't have a child. He's not going to be empathetic. He's not going to be nurturing. He's not going to elevate you and give you the drive that you need to start the business or to buy a home or get an investment property. Only a woman can do that. Yep, then why don't you? Unpaid labor is better. Now you know they're not intelligent enough to figure it out. No, they're not. This is why when I hear these stories on like TikTok and stuff of these women, and they're like, you know, my husband says that because I don't make a paycheck, I don't contribute anything to the home. I don't contribute anything to the home. And she's raising his children. So guess what? You won't be having it. Guess what? I will be like, you know what? I'm at the hospital and the kids can't come with me, and call him at work. I'm on my way to the hospital. I don't know who's going to be able to watch the children, but I'm not going to be able to watch them. See what he do. See what he do. You know what? I just don't feel like cooking. Quit cooking. Quit cleaning. And then he'll find out real fast what value you bring. When he's complaining to you about his long day, are you done yet? I have some place to go. Are you done yet? When he's complaining about his coworkers, how bad work was, you know, I have some place to go. Are we almost done here? See how quick he values you then. One second. Off topic, Queen, but Trump put a pause on the banning of TikTok. For real? Hold on, let me look. Let me look, because then what I'll start doing is I'll just go in on these lives and I'll just take stuff from my lives and just put them on TikTok. Oh wow, you're right. And this just happened too. This really just was updated like 40 minutes ago. Is the Supreme Court gonna honor it though? That's like the only thing. Come ahead of schedule. Okay, well, all right. We gonna see. We gonna see. All right. I'm gonna do about 5 more, but these are all gonna be red pill ones. So this last segment will be the red pill decoding. Because pretty much all of what these men are putting online is all red pill talking points. Okay, men are just biologically wired this way. They're just trying to justify the fact of them being disrespectful and them cheating. They just want to blame everything on their biology. Even though, honestly, I probably won't even be on TikTok for real, even if they choose to not ban it, because I like YouTube a lot better. I like the long form content. I like it being long form here because I can give more nuanced answers. I can do more dissecting of questions and things like that. Why are so many men dating coaches? Honestly, a lot of them want to prey on women. Number one, a lot of them want to prey on women. And number two, a lot of them, it's a position of dominance. It's in their mind, it's a position of dominance because they get to be in their head a puppet master over pretty much having to get men get their way with women. Because a lot of that advice they're giving you is really not all that good. All they're doing is telling you how to be subservient and do everything a man wants you to do. Okay, but anyway, men are just biologically wired this way. So like when men are like, oh, men are logical and women are emotional. We're just biologically wired this way. Okay, so they want to go on ahead and groom you to accept cheating. They want to groom you to, them avoiding the emotional labor that it takes in a relationship. They're trying to avoid taking accountability. This is why they're always telling women, you don't take accountability. Okay, that talking point screams, I don't want to take accountability. Does that talking point not say, I refuse to take accountability, I do not want to take accountability, so I have to blame it on something that I cannot quote unquote change because it's my biology. I'm just stuck this way. Well, then you're not a man. You're not a man for real. You're just an animal. You're not a man. You're an animal. If you don't have enough control, to be able to make choices and think of other people, and when you're making these decisions, then you're just an animal. Okay, when they say they don't like independent women, you're too independent. No one wants a woman that's independent. Insecure. You ever notice that men don't want you to want them. Men don't want you to want them. Men want you to need them. I'll say it again. Men don't want you to want them. Men want you to need them. Because here's the thing. Wanting something goes back to novelty. That's why they do these upgrades and they release things like new iPhones. You want an iPhone. You want a new car. You want a new house. But you can replace a car, a house, a phone. So they don't want to be wanted because they understand that when you want something, it will be easier to replace it. You can get a new phone, you can get a new car, you can buy a new house. Because it'll be something better out there. It'll be something newer out there. So they want you to need them because it will be harder to replace them when you have to rely on them. This is why I do talk about providers and things like that, but I always want the sprinkle life, the provider life. I always want that to just be an accessory. You know what I'm saying? I just want that to be an accessory for you. I don't believe in going out and doing all this stuff to get a provider man. Because that energy, you could be pouring that energy into yourself so that you can be a millionaire. You know what I mean? So that you can be educated. All that energy, you'll have an 100% return rate on putting your energy back into you as opposed to putting it outward to try to get a provider man. Never in my life would I ever get dressed up and go freestyle and wait for a man to come up to me or expect for a man to come up to me or invest all this energy and time into, trying to have a man come up to me. No. Men, for me, men are like purses. Okay, if it's a new purse that I want, I'm gonna just go to the store and buy the purse. And then when I'm tired of that purse, I swap it out with another purse. You know what I'm saying? Swap it out with another one. So, men, when they're saying that you're too independent, it ruins their gameplay on putting you in a position where you would need them. Because you make your own money. And this is the hypocrisy. Do you find this funny? Have you guys ever noticed this? Listen to the hypocrisy in this. They don't want you to be independent, right? Because you being independent would require you to need them. But then if you do need them for money, they're gonna call you a gold digger. Which one is it? Which one is it? They can't do anything for you when you're independent, but then when you need them for something and you actually do want to rely on them, oh my God, you're broke. I'm not dealing with no broke girl. They just don't like women. The men just don't like women. They want to be with a man. And I'm going to be making more content about this, about how a lot of men that are narcissistic, a lot of them are gay. A lot of these most men are narcissists, most of them. If they actually went to therapy and they actually got evaluated, a lot of these men would have NPD. A lot of them. A lot of them want to be with men. A lot of these narcissistic men especially are gay. Do not be fooled. A lot of these narcissistic men are gay as hell. Because when a man is a narcissist, all they care about is supply. That's why I was talking about the supply thing earlier. They only look at people as supply, and they don't care where they get that supply from. They'll take the supply from a man. They have no problem doing that. They don't care where the attention is coming from. They don't care where the schmex is coming from, as long as it's coming from somebody. So a lot of y'all be freaking out thinking that he with another woman the whole time he been with another man. Also, the talking point of women being too independent. Men's egos are way too fragile, okay? Men's ego can't handle the fact that a woman will be ambitious. She might earn more. She might earn more than him. That's too much. It's very intimidating for them. So that's another reason why they say shit like that. The red pill, all like men. The men going their own way, all like men. Okay? They all like fucking men. All of them. They're very homosexual and very homosocial. Okay, the next talking point. I like natural women. Okay, I like my women natural. I don't want a woman with all that makeup on. I want a woman with her real hair in, you know what I mean? I want my woman natural. How are you going to look if I spray your face with a water gun, how are you going to look when all that makeup comes off? They're trying to control your appearance. They're trying to control your beauty, first of all. They're trying to control your beauty. But the thing about it is that they're going to like the girls on Instagram who are wearing makeup. They're going to like the girls on Instagram who have their cheeks out, wearing bikinis. But meanwhile, they're telling you you can't wear a bikini or wear makeup or wear weave. But all their likes on Instagram is nothing but girls with wigs, makeup, bikinis, cheeks out. Because he's trying to create an artificial playing field where he can have dominance over you so that he can be the good looking one. And you just look like, this is why if you're a woman and you're married to a man or you're in a relationship with a man, it is so important that you do not let yourself go. A lot of women like to use relationships as an excuse to get fat. And I get it, okay? Cortisol from the stress of the relationship. You don't have a whole lot of time or time management skills or a village to help you if you have children. But your fitness and how your appearance look, it must be of the utmost importance when you are with a man. I refuse to ever be with a man who will not honor the fact that I need to go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. Honor the fact that, it's only so many times in the month that I want to go out to eat. I like to be very active. A man should honor that. A man should honor that. And if a man doesn't honor that, it's because he's intimidated by the fact that you want to keep up with your beauty. Because if you keep up with your beauty, you're going to always get attention. And so when he's acting up, it won't be as hard for you to want to leave because you're beautiful. You know that you'll be able to go get another one. And you want to be in that position. If things don't work out, you want to be in a winning position. You want to have the money to leave, and you want to have the looks and you still want to have the looks to have enough confidence to get you out of that, and you can still have your self-esteem be high. Okay, the next one. The good old high value men. High value men. The high value men have options. The high value men can get whatever women it is that they want. What I find so funny is that the men on the internet say this as if they're high value. Like, always remember, these talking points are coming from average men. Okay? The men that actually are successful, like my father, very successful, has his shit together, he's never said any of this shit ever. Ever. He would never in his life say any of this shit. My father would never consider himself a high value man. Ever. Ever. But I guarantee you, like 80% of the women on my live would go after my dad for his looks and for what he has achieved. Easily. My father's never and would never say any of this shit. So I know for a fact I have a good measuring stick as to where the calls are coming from. And all the red pill stuff is average men. Average men. High value men have options. Pretty much, he's trying to justify him being disloyal. Because here's the thing, men don't ever want you to have both. Men always are trying to groom you to understand that you'll never have a whole person in a man. Always remember that. You're very rarely going to get a whole person when you get a man. This is why they always are like, well, if I have money, then I'm going to cheat. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. I'm just calling it what it is, okay? I'm just calling it what it is. Because here's the thing. As a woman, you're not going to be able to slack off. They want you to have 2-3 kids, and then they want your stomach high, and they want your stomach tight and your titties high 2 weeks after giving birth. You don't get to say, well, you either get a mother or you get a hot wife. You don't get to say those things. You don't get to say those two things. You either get a woman that's a cooking or a cleaner or a bang maid. Which one is it? You don't get to say that. It's men trying to psychologically groom you to just to settle, to just take whatever they give you. Well, he's paying for everything, so I guess I'll just put up with this cheating. You know, he's ugly, but it's fine. At least he's paying for everything. You don't even want to be up under this man when y'all doing the deed in the bedroom because he's so ugly. Or his pee-pee. You got to look over his pee-pee size or his pee-pee, his bedroom performance because he giving you some money or you got a place to live. It's always something with men that you have to overlook to get something from them. But you are not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to have anything to be overlooked for men. Like with men, it's always something. Like it's always a, but you know, girl, he's spending money, but he's finishing in like 5 minutes. Like he's finishing in 5 minutes, and it's falling out, and I remember being called fat 2 weeks after giving birth at 128 pounds. Jesus, I don't mean to laugh, but God, what the hell? But yeah, it's always something. Like with a man, it will never be the full fucking package. That's not a high value man. That's not a high value man. See, here we go. We got it. Like they say the same thing. Well, aren't you single? If you had so much money or if you had so much knowledge about men, she wouldn't be alone. The dumbest women have a man. The dumbest women have a man. I'd rather be single than dumb. So that's a compliment. And that's another thing too. Men are very slow. Men are very short bus. And so men don't understand that women don't care about being single. Like it's a projection. Men are afraid of being single. You know, I'm sure you're at home and you got a big old bottle of lotion. You know, you probably can't even see your pee-pee past your big old belly. You know, so of course you're afraid of being alone. Of course you're afraid of being single. You know, you got your little call center check, your little factory check or whatever, where you got to listen to another man tell you what to do. Oh, yeah, yes, sir. We'll do. Yep. I'm gonna lift them two tons of I don't know, the cement. Will do, sir. Like what? They say the same thing over and over. Like, don't they get it yet? We don't care about being single. Like, I'm supposed to feel like I'm missing out on a man who repeats the same shit as hundreds of thousands of other men. That's what I'm missing out on. I'm missing out on a guy who has a receding hairline and needs a pill to fucking get hard. I'm missing out on a guy whose annual salary is $50,000. I'm missing out on a man who lives in an apartment that's got carpet on the floor and a fucking old ass TV and a fucking regular busted ass car. Who underwear got doo-doo stains. That's what I'm missing out on. Cause they know what the fuck I'm talking about. They know because they know that I know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I'm missing out. I'm missing out on your little PP, your little call center check. God, I'm missing out. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. Oh my God. Oh my God, you mean I can't have schmecks for 2 minutes? You mean I can't go 50-50? You mean I can't take care of a man child? Oh my God. This pays me. You see, that's the reason. Like, I'm on here getting paid. You're in my chat for free. You see how that works? I'm making money so I could stay away from dusty men like you. But guess what? Y'all keep following me. Even when I ain't in the streets, the Dusties is still following me. And he following me for free. Following me for free. Like, he didn't even have a good comeback. Like, you lost. You lost. And that's the thing. These men, like, the clapback game in men is so weak. Have y'all ever noticed that? Women's clapback game, immaculate. Women's clapback game, immaculate. Men cannot clap back for the life of them. All they could do is just say, well, you're ugly. You ugly. Like, huh? That's the best you could do? Like, you're not even clever with it. Not even clever, not even original, not even creative. Like, come on. Where are the real insults? Please. Where's the thought-provoking shade at? Can't wait for Queen edits. Oh, you mean like the 20-minute videos? I don't really think I'm going to be doing those, to be honest with you, because my lives are way more fun and they're just a lot more interactive. And the lives do a lot better. The lives do a lot better than the other videos. But I mean, I could do them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind doing them. He said he would, ooh. You're going to have to, like, move to a different state and not tell anybody. Well, thank you. Like, what is this guy saying? Vinegar? Like, what the... Someone tell me what this man is saying. Like, that's the thing. These men are so, like, short buzz. They're so short buzz that, like, the joke or the insult can't hit because you don't even know what they're talking about. And then they just say shit that makes no sense. Like, why do you look mad? I clearly don't look mad. I clearly don't look mad. Yes, your live came up in my algorithm. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to doing lives. They're just way more fun. Way, way, way more fun. But Timothy, I'll give you time. But Timothy, you only got 1 minute. Like, look at how long it took for him to rub his 2 brain cells together just to say that. Oh, okay, yeah. I just have to take the time to actually, like, sit and, like, watch everything and then make shorts. I wonder if there's, like, an app or something that I could use that can, like, do stuff for me. Because I don't feel like doing it. But I do need to post shorts. I do. Especially if they keep TikTok. He has a court date for FB and Barry, but he knows where I work and where my parents live. Oh my gosh, that's scary. That is super duper scary. Yeah, I definitely would try to go someplace where it will just be you, because yeah, this man's dangerous, but I'm really sorry that you're going through that. That's tough. Yeah, this is the reason why, like, the men are just getting so dangerous, and the men are kind of just, they're pulling out all the stops. Like, that's what's scary. They're pulling out all the stops when it comes to the, you know, abuse, when it comes to how, you know, they're treating women. It's serious, you know what I mean? It is. It's really, really serious. And it's sad. Like, it's sad that you have to even formulate a plan like this. And yes, I would definitely get me a piece of, and I would get me a piece of steel. I definitely would get me a piece of steel, for sure. You need something to protect you. For sure. Someone said do it now, prices are low. Yeah, I definitely I have my CDL so I can move, but I'm worried about my parents. Do you have any family members that like live in a do you have another like do you have other families that are like in another state that your family can like go to like temporarily or something? Sorry, I'm trying to adjust here. So this is like all over the place. These people just be commenting the craziest things, I tell you. All of it's they're not illegal. They're not illegal in all of Cali. It's like there are some counties. There are some counties that allow you to actually have them. Yeah, I have a ring light. Oh, are you kidding me? The police aren't gonna do anything. Police aren't doing shit. The police are gonna come. The police will only come if, like, you're actually attacked. Unfortunately. Statistically, it's proven that a woman's life will be it will be most endangered when she is leaving or when she is trying to leave the man that is harming her. That's the most dangerous time is when she's trying to leave. So you are right because yep, that is indeed the most dangerous time. This is also why like I don't I'm not trying to date a whole lot either because I don't know. I don't know who watches my content or not and if someone has like would have like ill intention for me or with me. You know what I mean? Has to be someone it has to be someone that I know already. Can you make up a lie that would make them unattracted / lose interest in you? Girl, I just tried that, chow. I just tried that, chow, and everything I pretty much did, it didn't work. It didn't work. So if it's like via text, it will be harder. But if they see you, this is the thing: asking for money is not foolproof. It's definitely not foolproof because sometimes men will spend it to you or send it to you. Um, but if you're in person, oh, all you have to do is act crazy. All you gotta do is act crazy. What the freak is going on? Okay. All you gotta do is act crazy. Do all be weird. Look crazy. Look crazy and be weird in person. Or call him on FaceTime. Do a FaceTime call. Yeah, high amounts of money. You can do high amounts of money. But yeah, looking at crazy if it's in person. But I would do it on FaceTime too. Like I'm just dying to talk to you. Have you seen the baddie digger pranks? No. How do I watch this? What is this on? Okay, I gotta check it out. Yes, reverse the attention and obsession. Watch how fast they leave you alone. Oh, that's smart. But I'm so lazy. This is just me personally. I am so lazy. I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to push through because I'm too lazy for all that. Calling them 36 times and shit. Yeah, what do you didn't pick up? What you didn't pick up? Like, what are you doing? Like look at all these times I had to call you before you picked up. That'll definitely work. That'll definitely work. Call that man 50 times. Call him 50 times. Leave him about 3 voicemail messages. Send him about 10 different voice notes. And send him about 10 text messages. He'll never want to talk to you again. Thank you. He'll never want to talk to you again. Be like, if you don't respond, I'm going to unalive myself. I'm going to off myself. If you don't respond in 10 minutes, that's it. And send him a picture of a knife. That'll definitely work. That'll definitely work. If that don't work, that man needs to be institutionalized. If that don't work, that man needs to be in a straitjacket, because if that don't run somebody off, I don't know, nothing will at that point. Nothing will. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have to move across the country if that don't work. That is hilarious. And that's another thing too that so also a big part of me dating too is I even know this, it's like even like within like my own like chart, but I do have like placements that make people have an obsession with me. That's why when women ask me, how do you get him obsessed with you? I'm telling you, as someone who has had women and men obsess over her and continues to have men specifically obsess over her, you don't want it. I'm telling you, you don't want it. It's terrible. So that's another reason why I've been laying low with dating. Because the not all of the men, but it seems as though like, and this is also why I actually like to approach men. I don't mind approaching men because typically the men that approach me, they become very obsessed with me. Very obsessed with me. And I just got tired. It's just so exhausting having to deal with that constantly. It's exhausting having like it's been so many times where like the man won't even have my number for like 48 hours and they're already like, you didn't text me back. Oh, did you block me? You don't like me? You're not texting me? What did I do wrong? And it's like, bruh, I've had your number for 48 hours. I'm busy. I'm not gonna be able to text you back immediately. And they're doing this off the rip. I went on a date with one guy before, and he was jealous because I wanted to hang out with my friend, my best friend, the same weekend I was hanging out with him. And we only hung out once. We went on one date, and he already was trying to like not have me hang out with my best friend, saying that me and my best friend were lesbians together. Just completely possessive and obsessive very early on. So I can assure you that you don't want a man obsessed with you. You don't want a man obsessed with you. And the only way, and unfortunately, men are never gonna close the door ever. Men are never gonna close the door. It could be a man from 20 years ago, and that man will find a way to pop up in your life, and he ain't seen you or talked to you in 20 fucking years. So if you don't close the door, if you don't close the door, they are going to find their way to barge in through the door. So you have to be the one to cut off the contact, block him on everything, delete everything. You may have to change your number. I've had too many situations where men have gotten obsessive. And but the thing about it was that I knew how to leave early so that way the situation did not become dangerous. No, simps aren't obsessed. They aren't. Simps aren't obsessed. Listen, simps understand that a relationship with a woman is transactional. That's it. That's it. That's all. Simps understand that they're not attractive. You know, they don't look good in the face. They may be short. They may not have a nice body, but they got money though. And so they're self aware enough to understand that in order for them to get into proximity to the woman that they want, they know they're going to have to pay for it. Simps are self aware. Yep, they'll spam call you even if you haven't spoken in months. Yep. With no remorse either, and won't care, and then be freaking out as to why you haven't responded to them. And it's like, we haven't talked in forever. We have nothing to talk about. What's going on? What's the issue? But yeah, that's the reason why simps are cool with me. I don't care. I don't really care about no simp for real, because they're self-aware. They understand where they stand. Yep, entitled to your energy. And that's the thing. Like, this is why even if you're with a provider man, even if he's taking care of everything financially, your energy, you're still having to give him your energy. No matter what, when you're dealing with a man, it's going to be some form of energy that you have to give. You know, I call it low risk energy and high risk energy. So I just came up with this, okay? But so low risk energy is when you kind of just deal with men in passing. You know what I mean? So maybe a man will let you like cut the line in front of him. Like when I was at the airport, like a man let me cut the line in front of him. You're not really having to invest any energy. You're just existing. Your energy is just naturally attracting people, and they want to do things for you. You know, they may buy your coffee. They may give you money. You know, they may do a nice deed for you just because you're in passing and because you're there. High risk energy is when you live with a man. You know what I mean? You're sleeping with a man regularly. You're having a child with a man. Those are high risk. That's high risk energy. So pretty much the least amount of attachment that you can have to a man will have you preserve the most amount of energy. Because you have to think too, even if you're like in a dating stage, right? And even if the man seems to be like a good man, you like him and you're thinking about him, he's on your mind. You know, some women will fall off what their plans are. Those stay on the, you know, when men want to stay on the phone with you, you got work in the morning. Let's keep talking. That's energy. That's still energy they're taking from you, because now you're going to work tired. Now you're going to work tired because you let him keep you on the phone up until 3 o'clock in the morning. You like him, but that's still high risk energy. Because you're thinking about him, what he's doing, if he's talking to another girl, if he's cheating on you, if he's lying or not. But during his tantrums, he said I was a problem. Well, if I was the problem, why are you still throwing tantrums and not blocking me? You know how they say, you know, when a man is cheating, women will do everything but leave. Men will complain about a woman and do everything but block her. You know, men will complain and do everything but cut off connection to you. That's why I stopped dating and became celibate. It's been almost 11 years ago. My email address is in my description. It's in my description of my YouTube. If you want to send me content, maybe you've seen something on TikTok or YouTube that you want me to review, you can send it to the email. It's Queen Sovereign Being. It is in my description bar here on YouTube, but you guys can email me, especially if you guys have content that you guys want me to review. Or if you have like something anonymous, like a story time or something, it could be relationship or exotical talk. Because I do plan to do some exotical talks on this channel as well. Is this chat about simp activity? No. I broke my celibacy on Christmas, but I don't regret it. But for 2025, I'm staying celibate. I made a decision. I'm going to do it. I for real am going to do it. But I broke my... I think I was only celibate for like 4 months, 4 or 5 months, but I broke it on Christmas. Queen, is TikTok a good investment financially? I'm thinking of making content, but I don't know if it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it as long as you just keep doing it. But yeah, it'll be worth it. Personally though, they pay you more on YouTube than TikTok. Like TikTok had me feeling like a $2 hoe. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. For the work that I was putting into TikTok had me feeling like a $2 hoe. But I think as long as you're trying to build a brand, if you're trying to build a brand, then definitely do it. Definitely do it. Because that way you'll have like your TikTok page, and then if you have a brand, then you can just start selling merchandise or offering, I don't know, consults or anything, depending on whatever your niche is, whatever type of content that you're gonna make. You can expand it outside of creating content. And I'm on my vacation, so like that's what I'm gonna start doing. So I'm gonna start offering up like one-on-one consultations. I want to make journals so girls can have journals and stuff to write in and things like that. Maybe make some robes, have some robes that have Queen Sovereign or Reign in Your Power. Have a cute little robe or pajama set, stuff like that. Oh, well, the topic was decoding male language, but I pretty much decoded everything. I did. I decoded a lot of things that men say. Oh, it was one thing I forgot to decode, but it's obvious. I think all the women know what this means. When men say that there's no more traditional women, all they're saying is it's no more slaves. It's no more slaves. That's all they're saying. Marriage actually was created as slavery for women. If you look into the history of marriage, that actually is where it derived from. We just normalized it, and I can't believe that people actually want to get married when that's the history of it. It literally was the slavery of women. And then they wonder why black women are quote unquote so masculine. It's like black women had to be oppressed not only once but twice. And it's like, who freed the most slaves? Who freed the most slaves? A woman. Harriet Tubman freed the most slaves. So do not let these men try to gaslight you into thinking that it's something wrong with you being quote unquote masculine when your masculinity as a woman fucking freed these men. If it weren't for a woman, we'd all still be picking cotton. Cause men will literally just sit here. Men will just sit here and just let suffering happen. You know what I mean? Just let suffering happen, and I try to not try to fight back for real. Men only engage in things like war because they make money off the war. The government and the powers that be, they make money off the fucking war. And what men don't realize is that they want to embody this toxic masculinity. Well, we build houses and we go to wars and stuff like that. Okay, y'all do this and y'all risk your life. You do this and you risk your life. You're breaking your back, you're callousing your hands, you're taking years off of your life. You're going to fight in a war and you're coming back to no job. You're coming back with PTSD, and these are the same people who aren't going to help you with your mental health. So they don't even see it that way. They don't even understand that they are just as much of a victim to the patriarchy. But they're so easy to brainwash. Men are so easy to brainwash that they don't even understand it. Like, they take pride in getting used by other men. That's what's so funny. That's pretty much what they're admitting. They're admitting that they take pride in getting used by other men. The men that have the money and the men that have the wealth, all they're doing is using men. This is why they say, well, we built houses. We built everything. You built everything, and you didn't build it at the kindness out of your heart. You built it in order to be able to sell it. That's what capitalism came from. You didn't build houses just because you wanted to build a house and kumbaya and have shelter. No. They want you to be happy that they built houses that cost $450,000 for carpet on the floor, a white refrigerator, and an unfinished basement. That's what they want you to be thankful for. Exactly. Risk it for the same men they complain about. Exactly. And too stupid to know it. Too stupid to know it. Schmeck's ads for men makes me lose brain cells. Yes. And the thing about it is that they have so much advertising. They have so much advertising geared towards that. It's for food. It's for cars. What else is it for? For perfume. All right, I'm probably going to hop off of here in like 10 minutes. So if you have anything else you want to chime in on, I'll be here for 10 more minutes. All I have to do is be myself and they will run. Hey, that works too. As long as they run away from me, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. Like, men really can't stand the fact that they refuse to accept the fact that, like, we don't want them anywhere near us. Men hate that idea that we don't want to deal with them. They can't fathom it at all. They cannot fathom it. Like, my thing is this. What about a man would ever make a woman want a man to be near her? Like, I don't even think men could sell their own self. Like, men cannot sell their own self, because all they're going to do is just tell you the same shit 50 other guys told you. Oh, well, I'm nice. I have a job. I got a car. I love my mama. Like, what? That's supposed to impress me? I think not. Exactly. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing that women want. Nothing that women want. They're like, why won't you be miserable with me? Exactly. That's really what they're asking. Why won't you be miserable with me? Oh, hey, girl. Hey, girl. I love it. You be quick with it. You be timing them out right away. Go sit in the corner. Go sit in the corner and think about what you did. Yeah, that's what they said earlier. That's really what we said earlier. Act like a stalker. I literally said it too. I was like, called him 36 times, send 10 text messages, send 5 voice messages, and I was like, send a picture of a knife and say, if you don't respond to me in 5 minutes, I'm gonna off myself. I'm waiting outside right now, right outside of your house. I'm in your walls. Find a mama's number and call her. I'm in love with your son. Oh my god, I'm in love with your son. Please have him call me. Please have them call me. Yep, I used to act like that, so I know very well. She said, I learned from experience. She's like, I was calling them motherfuckers 50 times and was wondering why they wouldn't hit me back up. Too funny. They want attention, but when they get it, they don't know what to do because it means they have to keep up the mask they put on and run away in terror. Yep. Yep. Nicely put. Very nicely put. Not a man saying the rose won. So I don't even use a rose. That's what's so funny. Well, I kind of do. I kind of do in a way. But it's not a rose. It's like this like C-shaped toy. It's actually cool. It's like a rose with like an extension at the bottom. It's like C-shaped. So it like suctions and like is inserted too. But anyway, that'll be my next venture. Some Schmex toys. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you so much for being my mod. I really, really appreciate you. I'm about to hop off of here anyway. Ladies, my sovereign sisters, I need to make a little jingle. I do. I need to make a little jingle for us. For calling us sovereign sisters. I'm gonna come up with one. A cute little jingle. But I appreciate you ladies for joining the live tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was very informative. I had such a great time with you all. And don't forget to reign in your power, ladies. Okay, don't forget to reign in your power, my sovereign sisters. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I might hop back on here tomorrow. I'm not 100% positive yet. But pretty much the whole rest of January, I'm going to be on here pretty often. Okay, I want to try to go on live daily because I'll have the time to do it and give you guys lots and lots and lots of content. So, yeah, stay tuned and have a beautiful night. Bye.